6 minutes that prove the heavens move by precise calculation. Part 1. Why are millions preparing for 6 minutes of darkness? Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Muhammad Abu Bakr, Abu Mujahid. East Africa. Moon sighting. Imagine this. You book a hotel months in advance. You reserve your flight. You take leave from work. You prepare expensive cameras and equipment. And you travel thousands of kilometers. All of this for an event that will last just over 6 minutes. Would you do it? Millions of people around the world will. On August 2nd, 2027, the world will witness one of the greatest astronomical events of this century, a total solar eclipse, an event so extraordinary that people from across the globe are already planning their journeys years in advance. But why? The answer is simple. Because they trust the calculations, not guesses, not estimates, but precise calculations. Years before this eclipse occurs, astronomers already know exactly where the moon's shadow will cross the Earth. They know the exact time totality will begin, how long it will last, and the exact second daylight will return. One of the best places to witness this extraordinary event will be Luxor, Egypt, where totality is expected to last approximately 6 minutes and 23 seconds, the longest duration of totality visible from land during the 21st century. Think about that. Years before the event, we already know where to stand, we already know when to arrive, and we already know exactly how long darkness will last. No one says, let's wait and see if the calculations are correct. Instead, people book flights, reserve hotels, and travel with complete confidence that the eclipse will occur exactly as calculated. But here's the question that fascinates me. If we can predict a total solar eclipse to the exact second, what else can these same calculations tell us? The answer may surprise you, but before we discover it, let's first witness what will happen during those 6 extraordinary minutes when day suddenly turns into darkness.
Part 2. 6 minutes. That will astonish the world. Now imagine that you are standing inside the path of totality for more than an hour. The moon slowly moves across the face of the sun. The daylight gradually begins to fade. Then, within a matter of seconds, the brilliant face of the sun disappears completely. Day suddenly turns into twilight. The sky grows dark. And for the first time, the sun's corona becomes visible, a magnificent crown of white light surrounding the darkened sun, something that is always there, but hidden by the sun's overwhelming brightness. For astronomers, these few minutes are priceless. They provide a rare opportunity to study the sun's corona and the activity taking place in its outer atmosphere. But scientists will not be the only ones looking up. During totality, Venus, the brightest planet visible from Earth, will shine brilliantly close to the eclipsed sun. Mercury, usually lost in the sun's intense glare, is also expected to become visible under clear skies. Several bright stars may also appear in the daytime sky. Imagine standing in Makkah around midday, the sun almost directly overhead. Then, within moments, the corona appears. Venus shines brightly, Mercury emerges from the sun's glare, and stars begin to appear in the middle of the day. All of this, exactly as astronomers calculated many years in advance. This is not coincidence. It is not guesswork. It is the remarkable precision of the heavens created by Allah. As darkness spreads, the temperature may suddenly drop. Birds may fall silent and return to their nests. Some animals may behave as though night has arrived. Then, just as suddenly as it began, sunlight bursts from behind the moon. For a brief moment, observers witness the breathtaking diamond ring effect. Daylight returns, and life continues as though nothing had happened. All of this in just over 6 extraordinary minutes. For a Muslim, this is much more than a beautiful astronomical event. It is one of the signs of Allah. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, taught us that when we witness a solar eclipse, we should turn to Allah. We should stand in Salatul Kusuf, remember Him, supplicate to Him, and seek His forgiveness. Some Muslims may even choose to perform Umrah during this period, hoping to witness this remarkable event while praying near Al-Masjid Al-Haram. But perhaps the most astonishing fact is not the darkness, not the corona, not the appearance of Venus and Mercury, nor the silence of the birds. The most astonishing fact is this: Every stage of this eclipse, from the very first moment the moon touches the sun until the final return of daylight, can be calculated with extraordinary precision years, even decades before it happens. And that brings us to an important question. If these calculations can predict a total solar eclipse to the exact second, can they also explain the movement of the moon, the beginning of the Islamic month, and whether the new crescent can or cannot be seen after sunset? Let's find out. Part 3, the same calculations. Now let's return to our question. How is it possible for astronomers to predict a total solar eclipse to the exact second, many years before it happens? The answer is simple. The sun, the moon, and the earth move according to a precise order that can be calculated with extraordinary accuracy. That is why astronomers know where the moon will be, where the sun will be, and exactly where the moon's shadow will fall on Earth. Now think about this. The very same calculations that predict a total solar eclipse are the same calculations that determine the exact moment of conjunction when the moon reaches the new moon phase and a new lunar month begins astronomically. They are the same calculations that determine the exact time of the full moon. And they are the same calculations used to assess whether the new crescent moon can be seen after sunset, or whether it is astronomically impossible to be seen from a particular location on Earth. These are not guesses. They are based on measurable facts: the position of the sun, the position of the moon, their angular separation, the moon's altitude above the horizon, and many other precisely measurable factors. For example, when astronomers say that the new crescent cannot possibly be seen from a certain region after sunset, they are not making assumptions. They are applying the same precise calculations that allow them to predict the 2027 total solar eclipse to the exact second. This does not mean that astronomical calculations replace the science of sighting the crescent moon, but they do help us understand the reality of the heavens that Allah has created. So, if we trust these calculations to predict a total solar eclipse, we should also recognize that conjunction, the full moon, and the scientific assessment of crescent visibility all depend on the very same precise movements of the sun and the moon, the same heavens, the same sun, the same moon, the same precise calculations. But what does the Quran say about this remarkable precision? Let's conclude with a verse that invites us to reflect.
Part 4. The heavens move by precise calculation. More than 1,400 years ago, long before modern telescopes, long before satellites, and long before powerful computers could calculate the movements of the heavens, the Quran invited mankind to reflect upon a remarkable truth. Allah the Most High says, وَالشَّمْسُ وَالْقَمَرُ بِحُسْبَانٍ, the sun and the moon move by precise calculation. Surah Ar-Rahman 55:5. Think about this verse. Allah did not say that the sun and the moon move randomly. He did not say that their movements are beyond understanding. He tells us that they move by precise calculation. Today, astronomy allows us to witness the precision of this system more clearly than ever before. Using these calculations, we can predict a total solar eclipse years in advance. We can determine the exact moment of conjunction. We know the exact time of the full moon, and we can scientifically assess whether the new crescent moon can or cannot be seen from a particular location after sunset. The total solar eclipse of August 2nd, 2027 is not remarkable simply because day will briefly turn into darkness. It is remarkable because it reminds us that this universe operates according to a perfect order established by Allah. Millions of people will travel across the world to witness those 6 extraordinary minutes. Why? Because they trust the precision of these calculations, the very same calculations that describe the movements of the sun and the moon throughout every lunar month. When we look at the heavens, we are not simply observing the sun and the moon. We are witnessing the signs of Allah, signs of His wisdom, His power, and the perfection of His creation. So, when August 2nd, 2027 arrives, and you witness this eclipse, or even watch it from afar, don't see only 6 minutes of darkness. See 6 minutes that testify to the precision of Allah's creation, and remember the words of your Lord, وَالشَّمْسُ وَالْقَمَرُ بِحُسْبَانٍ. The sun and the moon move by precise calculation. We ask Allah to increase us in beneficial knowledge, to make us among those who reflect upon His signs, and to guide us always to the truth. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.